broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
So good.
Ooh. What's up?
Oh, hello, everyone.
Oh, yes. I really appreciate the music.
Yeah, some serious music for a very serious show today.
Slow jam.
Hey guys, welcome back to our AFTERBUZZ TV Mistresses recap of Mistresses. Guys, I'm so sorry.
Francesca just fell out of her chair before we started, so I just want everyone to know.
She's that excited. She is that excited about this episode.
Oh, jeez. Okay, if you're listening to us on iTunes, make sure to rate us. Tell us what you think. Give us 5 stars. And if you're listening, also watch us on YouTube. We're here. And thanks to everyone else that's live. They're making so much fun of me right now. My name's
I just want you to know I'm not. I'm just taking it all in.
It just hit me.
For the record.
It just hit me. Anyway.
And next to me is Sterling, who's making fun of me.
Hey guys, I'm Sterling. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at SterlingKates.
And then Allison, who's not.
Yes. The admirable
She's so
one.
sweet.
I'm Alison Dean. You can find me everywhere at the Alison Dean.
Y'all can find me on Twitter and Instagram at April Whisenhant.
Okay.
Sweet.
So,
To be fair, I only started laughing because I saw April over there.
I remember that, April.
Okay, alright, now let's get into it. Sorry.
Something that happened earlier today.
So we're super giggly, except this show was absolutely the serious show I've seen.
Right.
And last week I had said, I think this is the most like serious they've gotten with like a murder, but then I totally forgot about Karen's whole spiel in the first season with the husband and son.
Right.
But still, this was just a little bit too serious for me, and I wasn't digging it.
I liked it.
I dug it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I was drinking that Kool-Aid.
I was like yelling at the TV a lot though. Quick shout outs. We have Maya Lane in chat, Kayla the TV queen, and Dustin Bradley. So
Hey,
sorry.
guys.
But hello, and thank you for being in chat with me.
And us.
Right now. And all of us, because they'll tell me
She's our
things to say.
representative. Yeah,
yes,
she's our rep.
I am the token representative. Yeah, no, I was yelling, wasn't I, a few times?
I think we both were very upset at the show.
Certain things.
What were you upset about? I want to know what you guys were upset about, because I was feeling it. Minus the whole frustration.
Yeah.
But you want that when you watch a show. You don't want to be like, oh yeah, that's good.
I also said I love this show a few times as it was happening. I did.
Yes, and they were always about Mark and Harry's kind of like whole spiel throughout the thing about sex and everything like that. But even that got serious when Mark takes a drink at the end. So I feel like it was just serious overload. I wasn't ready for it. I was ready for some humor, but I totally forgot we're in the midst of a murder.
Yeah. There's no humor in that. No.
None.
Nope.
So let's start talking about the murder.
Yeah, let's get into it.
First of all,
Who did it? Who done it?
First, I hired someone to do it.
If she didn't do it herself.
Do you think that ABC would make it that
she's smart
obvious?
enough to do it.
I don't think it was Kalista, y'all.
Do you think it was Wilson? All right. Anyways, we'll talk about that in prediction, I guess.
You're like kibosh. Yeah. And hush.
I just didn't understand why. I mean, I guess I would never know because I've not been in that situation, thankfully. But like, Joss kind of like touched everywhere in the blood, like finger painted, then finger painted herself, and then ran
everywhere
and touched everything in Karen's house.
Right.
Yeah.
And then took a shower, and I was just like,
it's just the dumbest thing ever.
I get
like if she's not guilty, why wouldn't she just call the cops right from the start?
Right. And I get being scared because it's a peculiar situation because it was a setup and lots of strange things were going on. It's not your typical like make it out with a dude, falls on the stairs and he dies. Like he was shot and she's in all of his blood. So I get the mindset
Feeling
of her
around it.
Yeah.
Like he looked dead when she was like trying to take his pulse and stuff. I was like, no, girl.
He looks
like,
so fake dead. Like
Yeah.
They did
He
not
looked
a great job
on the makeup, right?
bad.
Minor, whatever.
She lost her marbles for that whole period of time because that was just,
I mean,
plain dum-dumness.
Who's to say how I would react if I saw a dead body?
You might act like a dum-dum too.
Maybe.
You might.
But
it's true.
I think she acted a little dumber than she should have. That's for sure.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. I mean, she clearly was not guilty, so the fact that you wouldn't immediately call the cops and be like, yes, I was here, yes, I was almost going to have relations, fake relations, whatever. I mean, you just cop to it.
Right.
Cop to
Well,
it.
I was thinking that the reason she didn't was because of the setup the whole time. Because she was thinking like, oh, we were in this, and this is, if they find out, it's going to really mess up Kalista and me too.
But then she just ended up telling the truth anyway, so it doesn't really make sense.
So that's why I'm like, okay, I kind of get why that was me, I'm so sorry. I kind of get why she didn't say it, but now it's like, there's no reason, because obviously she didn't do it, so I'm on the same page. I thought differently at first, and then I was like, why'd you call the cop, girl?
I mean, God bless Karen for being like, did you call the cops?
She's like, okay, well, that's okay. Let's
No,
do
I
it
already
together.
showered though. That's all done.
Here's my wet clothes. I
took care of that.
Literally, she called Kalista first, which is completely understandable, and then she called Harry. But I was waiting for it to be like 911. What's your emergency?
Right. Like, what's Harry gonna do? Cover up the dead body?
He
or-
might be like, did you call the cops? I don't know.
Just maybe.
Maybe.
Harry would save the day.
Possibly. I mean, certainly he was more of a potential right mind than she was at that moment, although...
So Joss is calling her, and Kalista isn't answering, hasn't answered her text that she sent asking her if she got the footage. And at that time, I was for sure thinking, like, oh, she's not answering because, like, she did it. Mm-hmm. But my opinion changes later.
Still landing on that line.
Last week. From last week, April's still touching down. Okay, I'll get there tonight. So Kalista, when she's driving up to the house and she sees all the police cars, she genuinely looks surprised.
Yeah.
I didn't think so.
I don't think so either.
But when she got inside the house, it seemed a little like forced and fake. And even at first I was like, oh, it's just because she didn't see the blood. But then she even turns around and looks at the blood and then just turns back like, what's going on? And I'm like,
right.
What do you mean? So that's where I'm like leaning towards she might have known something about this, perhaps.
I think she may be suffering from some étranger mental disorder.
What?
Like étranger?
Are you saying estrogen?
No, I'm saying strange in a not very French way. So I don't know. I think that she is bipolar, multiple personalities,
Karen
or cluster B. Cluster
whatever
B
Karen said.
personality disorder.
Yeah.
It does,
She's a
actually.
sociopath. Yeah, whatever Karen said.
You can eat her personality disorder. There's definitely it's strange. Although I do think that once Joss met her in the car, and then we see
was
that,
weird.
Then we saw that she was cognizant and she was aware of everything.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, well then maybe you really are just trying to protect the whole, like it's a PR play for her.
Exactly.
She can't let anybody find out the whole thing.
But that's
because he be dead now.
That's what part of what Karen says is being a cluster B personality. It's someone who's obsessed with
Their
fame
own
and vanity.
Vanity, right.
And she doesn't want, if she goes down for this and if the press finds out what
the
she and
repercussions.
Joss were planning, she's going to go down.
Right, and whether or not she did it or is involved with it, she wants like her image to be
Intact.
intact, and she's gonna step on whoever she needs to in order to maintain that.
I'm sorry, Kalista,
including
but,
Joss.
being proven innocent is a little more important than having people think
Here's
you're
the thing, though. I didn't understand why
Happy people
Joss...
just don't kill their husbands. They just don't. That's what it reminded
true.
me of.
I was surprised that Joss wasn't more understanding on some level of what Kalista was saying, because a lot of it is true. I mean, the end game was, obviously, they wanted Luca not to gain her empire and stuff like that. So... I don't know. I just was surprised that Joss wasn't more like, oh, great, you're going to hire me a great attorney? Fantastic. Like, she's been game this whole way. So now it's like you're at the point where, now Callista's image is on the line. And it's true. Like, she is not in a position where it's like if Diane von Furstenberg suddenly was like, think about it, like, it just wouldn't work. She's not going to be like, oh yeah, I was just trying to like catch my dude, like,
exactly.
Like, it just doesn't work. You're already in the public eye. You already have all this attention on you. You need your friends to play ball with you. And of course, she didn't deliberately want Joss to be like pinned for murder, but at the same time, Joss was like not even accepting, yes, I'll get you an attorney. I don't know. That part didn't make sense to me.
It makes sense to me because if she's accepting help from her, then maybe possibly they're like, you guys did plan this together, and she's like helping.
I don't think Joss is thinking that far into it.
No, well,
but I also don't think Kalista would offer it unless she really wanted to.
Yeah, I do think Kalista actually really wants to help, but the reason why I kind of lean more toward how Joss is feeling about this is because I think she probably does get on some level what Kalista is thinking, where she's coming from, but it really is essentially Kalista has her freedom, basically, and she can say, oh, this was happening, that's why she was there at this time, whatever, but Kalista is choosing her image over her friend's possible freedom. So that seems a little more important, I guess.
That makes me feel like there's more to it.
Yeah.
Because she wouldn't just do it for her image. She's covering up murder.
There's something. I mean, there's so many things that are yet to be discovered, I think, with all this. And
TBD.
I think it's all kind of TBD. But I don't know. Yeah, hire an attorney. Yeah, a good one that you can afford. Yeah, great idea. Like, just say yes.
Well, and it was interesting when Joss brought up the point that Kalista paid for with everything in cash. She, all of these people who were setting up the cameras and everything were her people.
Yes.
I don't know. It's a little suspect to me.
I feel like that's something that rich people do because they just have cash and they wouldn't know.
Oh, they probably give you piles.
Oh, is that what they do?
Well, I'm pretty sure they have piles of cash that they don't want to get taxed
bags of millions of dollars.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Pull up with their cash at
closets, and they just want to, so that's why they pay with cash. So I don't think that's that.
Something's in the atmosphere tonight, guys.
But I don't think it's that normal for her to pay just with cash. On to the next person.
I did not have their laughing gas, but I really would appreciate some at this point. Like, what
Can
the hell?
I push you out of your chair and then you can be on my level?
Seeing as how I'm recovering from a broken foot, I think I don't need to. Well, no, like my.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I'm like, I don't need to relive anything. I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. I've had my spills for the year, I think.
Yeah,
done.
Let's not. We'll just giggle on you.
But laughing gas I'll take. Maybe
it was in the trailer. No.
I was in that trailer. What the hell?
I'm trying to think of Kalista. What?
I thought Sterling touching her nose. I'm like, are we playing nose ghost?
Okay, so a scene. I
Reel us back in, April.
If it was toward the end, but whenever they have. Oh yeah, it was kind of toward the end when Kalista is out on her balcony. She's got her hooded robe on, and she puts her ring right by the edge, and is gonna toss it off, and then she brings it back. That's one of the scenes that I think it's too. It's kind of a prediction, but it's not. It's too easy for her to have been the one to do it because she literally. It's like they laid it out perfectly, and they're just going to be like, "Oh, it's her." So that's why I think it's weird to me that Wilson was the one who finally got in touch with Joss.
Yeah, that was weird
instead of Kalista.
Because I think that they're probably now tracking communication or something. The cops are probably watching all that based on their stories.
I was hoping that the cops would see them in the car together.
I know. I was thinking someone's gonna like how they did that shot. I was like, oh my god, there's gonna be a photographer there, or I don't know. I was thinking that too.
Or like Joss record the conversation.
That's what I said. I said she should have recorded the conversation to show that they were both in on this, and
that's before she realized that she could be on the other side.
That's what I was gonna say. Why did it take Joss that long? Like, she literally thought about it at the end of the episode when she's talking with April and Karen. Like, oh my god, what if she killed him? Like, that was my first thought. Yeah. Like, how could that not have been your first thought? But when it's your best,
or someone who's like your best friend, you would hope that that's not the case. But I feel like that seeing her at the police station, that would have been it for me. Like, when she didn't even act like she knew you.
And like, obviously, you find out your husband died. you need some time probably, but I just don't see how you don't return a phone call to the friend that was there like immediately, basically. So,
and I also didn't love in the car when she was like, and I didn't know he was going to get killed.
Yeah.
And Joss was like, I didn't do it. Like, you can't believe it. Like, she was very...
Yeah.
Like, she just attacked her.
Maybe she didn't plan it. Okay, that's probably going in predictions. But maybe she didn't plan it, but she has an idea of who might have done it. So that's kind of where she is. But I think...
Mr. Wilson.
Yeah.
But I think that scene at the end where she was about to push over her ring, I think she might have realized, like, if she got rid of her ring, they might be, like, questioning, like... Why are you not wearing your ring? But also that was extra creepy when she like takes this deep breath and inhales after like all is like washed away.
Yeah. And I don't know who said it last week. I think it might have been you, Allison, that they wouldn't have brought in her as the fourth mistress or whatever if she was going to be like, if she's just going to be like one and done for this season. Yeah. You know what I mean?
She's Jennifer Esposito. She's not one and done. No. I refuse. Wait, real fast. A few more additions in chat that I want to say hello to. The Slacker Elite, welcome, and Kelly Plowman Warden, hello again.
Hello there.
Hello. Howdy. And hashtag bring back Daniel. Thank you.
Yes. I like her already.
We're already on to that, actually, in the chat.
Yo, what about the detective, though?
And that's April's fiance. In real life.
In real life.
Real life people.
I was actually talking about the woman detective later. I was talking to Joss. But yeah, it's him as well. He was really good. But she was so like, I mean, the way that she was treating Joss after she had talked to Kalista, which clearly, you know, she got two completely different stories.
Right.
I don't know. It almost seemed like it's like you're a cop. You're just gonna automatically like this person who's like clearly so upset and has no motive whatsoever. You're just gonna believe her over this person who has every bit of motive in the world to lie to you.
Yeah, and can't you not tell another suspect what another suspect
That's what I said. I was like, that would never happen. That would never happen.
That's one of them times.
But you can't. No, but she wasn't making it up though. She can't give like
hard actual fact. Yes.
Yeah, like she can't give actual evidence.
I was like that's not happening.
Wait, what evidence did she give?
She was saying, like, they were saying exactly what the other person said in the interview, and like
the plan you hatched. They wouldn't say. Well, they would say the plan you hatched. Actually, I think that would actually. She was like,
but then she said what the plan was.
Yeah.
She was like saying exactly. It's like technically considered evidence or whatever if they can't.
It's called. There's a word for it. Shit.
Circumstantial evidence.
Maybe.
I don't think it's that.
I heard that Legally Blonde once, I think.
But I also, the detective was kind of shady because she was, like you were saying, like, after she talked to Kalista, when she was talking to Joss, she was very, like, mean and hard on her, where she wasn't that way with Kalista. And it's like, you can't take sides as a detective. You're supposed to stay, like, neutral. You're supposed to, like, it was like she was personally upset or angry instead of just being
I didn't like
harsh
her.
detective.
Was not into that detective.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, I mean, she has Kalista Rain, so she could essentially have everyone kind of in her back pocket at the same time. Because it really does, now that I think about it, it's weird to me that they would just automatically be so, like, Joss, without any motive. And
she didn't have any gunpowder residue on her.
We don't know.
Because she has to get tested for that, yeah. But
I mean, we know she didn't.
Hands or anything, really. It lasts for a long time.
Yeah.
So says Dexter. But you...
Way to go! Bringing Dexter in the mix.
Thank you. But I think that...
Love it.
I don't know. It's just a little kind of like, why are you saying that already? But I don't know.
Yeah.
And they don't have lawyers present. They're like getting really into
I agree with you.
interrogation.
Like, when she was like, I think I need a lawyer.
Yeah,
like, you're good, girl. You should definitely get Dom in there.
Aw, Dom.
Kelly misses Dom.
We all miss Dom.
I did too.
Hashtag bring back Dom.
too. Daniel.
Bring back the D's.
Yeah.
We need the D actors. Dom and Daniel. Daniel Dom.
Good job.
Yes. Right?
I am 100% on that page.
Get rid of Blair. Ugh.
Yeah.
Hi, Blair.
Ugh.
So, Blair, yeah, he was
April,
pretty
you
creepy.
said you kind of liked them at one point when we were
You
watching.
did.
I liked Blair at first too. I was like, yay, finally someone good and strong is coming along.
Yeah.
But I mean, these last few episodes have just proved he's pretty on the creepy side.
Well, he's not creepy. He just like is very
He's creepy.
like domineering.
He's creepy.
Yeah.
I think the way he says things is creepy.
Even the way he made out with her was creepy. I was like, that doesn't look good. Something's wrong there.
He's just very controlling.
The whole thing just
Which
didn't
is
work.
creepy.
Yes.
Not hot.
Creepy, controlling.
Not hot.
I mean,
And as someone with who has a step parent,
I was gonna say kids. I was like,
no, as someone with kids, no, but like when someone like is brought into your house for the first time and they tell me not to reach across the table, no, sir,
no.
I don't know where you came from.
Like you're on a first date. He's taking them to the game, and he's like, put away your phone. Your mother's talking.
that would be it for me.
Yeah, I mean, we
especially
even
as a teenager, like
we even saw April's face. She was
not okay with it.
And I think right then and there, it doesn't matter what he's gonna do or what tickets he's gonna buy you or what he's gonna cook you. Like, you can get a good glimpse of a person like that.
Yes,
and when he came over to her house to make the waffles with chocolate chips, which sound really good right now. Listen, I might have got a concussion when I fell off my seat. But anyways, I felt that was very, like, his presence was very strong too. He kind of like just barged in and like was making breakfast, and she wanted to help, and he was like, sit down. And I was literally saying to myself while watching this, would I be like, oh, how sweet if a guy I liked was doing this to me? But I think just coming from him, he's just very
it was too much.
possessive aggressive.
He plays a creepy dude real good.
He did the same sort of thing, like the character switch, like from being like really good to like really bad in Scandal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yes, Dustin just said Headmaster Blair has always played really sketchy characters.
He does a great job. He does a really good job.
I kind of liked whenever he came over and was making the pancakes. And
I like that too. I
waffles.
mean, I would 100% like to sit down and someone
Yeah.
make me breakfast. That's absolutely fine.
Like he is. It does seem to be a little fast, but I guess they are like Lucy is how 12, 13. Like it's not like they're
Right.
young ingenues. They are in.
What's up with the French today?
I don't know. They, they're at an age where you probably do move a little faster, and I just think that. That's the moment where I was like, oh, I kind of like him because April, we've been talking about how she's really kind of coming into her own and she's actually standing up for herself, even though part of that was because of what Blair said.
Right.
But, when she asks or when she confronts him about how he spoke to Lucy the night before, that's when I liked him, because he was like, if I overstepped, I'm so sorry. Like, I raised a daughter without, like, before the texting world, and that's the 0.2 seconds where I liked him. But then,
but then he completely
does it again.
Yeah.
But when April's not there, though,
and
he says it.
of course that's gonna happen. So now we don't know. Like, I'm wondering if
I think Lucy's gonna say. Should I save that for predictions? No, I think Lucy's gonna say something.
Yeah, that look she gave, she was not having it.
but she might feel scared to say something back. I mean, because
not to him. I think she'll say something to her mom.
No, she might be scared because if she tells like her mom that April obviously is gonna go talk to Blair about it, and she might not want to get in trouble.
That's her headmaster, too.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation because it's a private school. Like, you don't know what'll happen.
Mm-hmm. But maybe she'll tell Mark.
Yeah.
Let's hope so.
And Mark will put a fucking talk to Mark.
I don't know. Mark thinks he's a loser, and
He'll come out of it.
he picked up a bear. So, Mark, how cute is it that they conveniently couldn't sleep in the middle of the night?
Oh, they're so alike already.
So cute. And, of course, Mark, being the goofy, not really refined guy that he is totally breaks his bro code and tells April that Harry was sleeping with Joss. I mean, not with Joss, with Nico.
Slept with once, not sleeping with
or slept
consistently.
right. She kind of just hit it and quit it.
It was tricked. He had no idea.
Trickery.
I still don't even think they did it.
No. Oh, they did, though.
I don't know. I hope they did.
He was real drunk.
Yes.
Real drunk.
But
Maybe it didn't happen.
They're cute together now, but it's a little too cute for me at this point. Even though I like the two of them together, it's just so it's not hot, and we're
Here's
used
the
to
thing.
seeing nothing but hot.
They're doing that for a reason, because they want us. It's like they're gonna do something where suddenly it's gonna get fiery,
real
yes,
hot.
and then yeah. I feel like they're setting us up right now for this epic
Hotness.
yeah.
I'm
like
totally
it.
down for that.
I'm
down for that, but I hope, with Mark,
a bunk
we can
bed.
get it together.
Just kidding. I don't know.
We'll see how it goes with him drinking again.
Oh, no. I feel like
Because April will not.
No,
put up with
she's
that.
not going to be down for that. Well, that could be the...
What pulls them together?
Maybe.
She might save him.
She might save him.
They're gonna save each other,
But
guys.
she saved enough people. She doesn't need to save anyone at
That's
this
what
point.
I'm
He
saying.
just needs to,
She doesn't need a little
Maybe
boy.
Harry's going to save him.
Maybe. I mean, Harry kind of got him.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Harry didn't know.
Yeah, you can't put Harry all the blame
At
on this,
fault.
but he got him in the situation where he realizes, hey, I kind of suck.
I'm not good enough for April.
I don't have my own house. I live with someone that even though he's not admitting it, he likes, but doesn't,
Right.
whatever. And he hasn't had sex in a really long time. And I just want to say, first of all of us, actually I don't know about you, Allison, but Sterling, April, and I have all worked at a restaurant before.
I have as well.
And, okay, good. So
there
we've
you
all,
go.
I think everyone in LA has
I didn't know what you were going to say. I was like, what have we all done?
I was actually thinking that too. I was like...
We have all had beers before. My mom's listening.
She got real nervous for a second. She was really scared. She's like, what's about to be said?
Yes, we have worked at a restaurant.
Yes, guys. So we've all worked at a restaurant, and I've been there when the buyer or the seller, whatever, comes in for the wine or the liquor, and I have never seen any girl quite like. What was her name? Ever.
Yeah. No.
Her name-
Ever. I've
her
never
name
seen
was Ever?
I've never
Yeah.
seen Ever.
Yeah. Me neither. And it's been in Beverly Hills. That's what we.
Yeah, exactly.
But, props to Mark for the pickup. He did good. Homegirl was feeling it.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, she was definitely feeding a lot to him, and he was just
taking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he had done that to a girl that was quiet, not quietly, but lightly flirting, it would have been really awkwardly
Right.
weird.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was a creative way of him to get out of drinking whenever
yeah.
she asked him to taste it.
Yeah.
But
Well, yeah, that was.
yeah.
She was very keen to selling him on the
New accounts,
the liquor.
man. Got to dial in those
You gotta
new
do what you
accounts.
gotta do. You're on commission, right?
I've never been asked this one before. Let me figure it out.
But, so Harry, being the great mate that he is, he let
Look at you!
Great,
He
mate.
said mate 100 times tonight.
Eh?
Hey.
Hey, mate.
That was good. Not bad.
So we got Australian and French today on the show. So Harry's like, hey, the keys by the whatever, and blah, blah, blah. And
It's under the can by the garage. That's British. Is that British?
That was pretty British.
That's from the Barbie. That's his trip.
It's
Anyway.
in the pouch of the kangaroo. Like, whatever. That was kind of British, too.
Okay, so he's got to go find it, wherever it
Focus,
is.
guys. Focus. So, but once she finds out that this is Harry's house,
Harry Davis.
she's
Harry
creepy. And
That
she's
was
like,
so creepy.
oh my
That
god,
was-
I've had a crush on him forever.
What a psycho.
Let's take
Yeah,
a
that was not
selfie.
fine.
Let's take a selfie in his bed.
Way. I'm like, oh, Harry Davis? Right?
April. Are you Ever? Huh? Is she here? Ever's in the studio with us. Tonight over there.
But I would say I would be the same way because I love Harry so much.
Yeah.
I love his character, you know what I mean?
But if Mark was in the bed.
Nah, I'll be focusing on you, Mark.
You hear that? So,
Good to know. Okay.
Oh.
so
She turns out to be crazy.
crazy girl. I was gonna
Hey,
say
by
crazy
the way-
blonde, but you're sitting right next to me, Sterling.
Before you continue, all of chat digs your hair tonight.
Thank you guys.
So good.
Thanks for all you guys that are just listening and not watching. It is pink.
It is pink. They're all loving on her pink hair.
Thanks, guys.
It looks fierce in person too.
It does.
I
yeah.
appreciate it mucho.
A little bit of Espanol.
You were dissing on my bad French. Come on now. It's an evening of international delights.
That's a good way to put it.
Let's start singing in harmony now.
Don't threaten April and I with a good time.
No. But honestly, as a guy, if you're in bed with some girl and she finds out that you're roommates even or sharing whatever a house with someone else and she just totally freaks out about it, you're gonna feel like shit.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, yeah. And she didn't even care about the fact that it wasn't Mark's actual place. She
just
cared.
isn't-
She just liked that it was Harry.
It was so icky.
Yeah.
It was not okay.
No.
But Mark deserves better than her anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
So whatever.
yeah, exactly.
Ever.
She was,
Her
yeah.
loss ever.
So Harry, who's always drinking beer, if you guys haven't noticed that, in all the episodes Harry's in, I feel like he's always drinking beer.
Yeah.
At least with his house. He's always drinking beer and hands one, of course, to Mark. And Mark takes that one sip, and he has that little fire in his eye. And he's like, oh my God. And he drinks the beer.
I just hope he doesn't turn it into an April thing, because he is drinking because this chick didn't like him and he feels dissed because she liked Harry, but then it all comes back to April about how I'm never going to be good enough, and Blair has this and can take her to fancy dinners and whatever, and Harry's like, I thought you said you didn't have feelings for her, but so I just hope it doesn't turn into one of those things. Like, I mean, I don't think he would ever be like, you led me to drink. But I could see it like coming up in an argument, I guess. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I definitely feel there's going to be some tension regarding his drinking if he continues to do so and be living under April's roof.
Well, how long is he sober?
I think a while.
Yeah.
I think it's been.
I can't remember either, but they did say it in the beginning
Yeah,
of the show.
because when he told her, he was like, I've been sober for this long.
Yeah.
Maybe chat knows. Tell us.
Let us know,
Tell
chat.
us if you're.
Yeah.
Oh, jiggy jiggy. It's the theme of the week. Okay. Oh.
Was the dog barking?
Dog
Yes.
bark. Were you going to say something?
No.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm glad that we didn't see Nico in this portion.
Yeah.
I think she's gone.
Nico done.
Yeah.
She's at the SLS.
But also, like, what was Harry doing when Joss called him? And why didn't he call her back?
Maybe he was working,
Yeah, he probably was
closing up
working.
shop.
He didn't see the missed call?
He doesn't
No,
leave
he
his
did
phone
see
just
it.
like
He
chilling
just-
on the bar.
Remember, Mark told him not to call her back.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
both
right.
of them. April told Joss, don't call him back, and Mark told Harry, don't call him back. And I feel like in relationship situations like that, you should just kind of do what you
what you wanna do.
think, do what you want to do, because
Hey, 3
everyone's
years,
gonna.
y'all. He's been
3
sober
years.
for 3
Cool.
years.
Thank you.
3 years. Thanks, Kelly.
Everyone's gonna do what they want to do, and everyone's gonna always be telling you what to do.
Well, Joss did call him again, right?
No,
No.
well,
No,
no,
she
she didn't
didn't.
end
Okay.
up doing that. But I was thinking when she was on on Karen's couch and April was there and she was like, should I call Harry? Like, I don't know, we've been broken up, like blah blah. When you just saw a dead person, like, I don't know
All
if like
rules go out the window.
I don't know if you should be sitting there like contemplating like what you should do in your relationship life. Like,
No.
there are bigger fish to fry
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Whether or not you want to call him or don't call him, just pick one and do it, and then let's figure out what we're gonna do. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
And that felt so trivial compared to what was actually happening.
Right.
I think that's part of why I didn't particularly. It's not that this episode was bad. It was a great episode, but I think that's part of the reason why I didn't particularly like this one, because there was a lot of seriousness mixed with like random things like that, and it was just like the show's.
I think that means you're gonna really like next week. I feel
hope.
like this one was just like a build
Setting us up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I hope next week is a little bit more enjoyable for me, and hopefully more laughs, because I like when there's lots of laughs.
Yeah. I don't know. I
don't know. I like the
playing game of
drama.
Clue. Yeah.
We need to talk about
Drama.
Karen.
Yeah, well, we're getting there.
Oh, okay.
Another speaking of setup.
Speaking of more sadness.
I know, right?
More depressing.
I think the most sad part about this was what grown man leaves a hickey on a lady's neck?
There's
there was a hickey?
enough. Yeah, there's plenty out there.
No,
They're
okay.
out there.
Wait, where was the hickey?
When she was
was
walking into her
small.
house, she looked
Yeah.
in the mirror outside of her door, and it was a tiny little hickey.
They called
I don't-
attention to it. It was like, and
I
pause,
didn't
and
even-
pause, and pause.
And here it is, and I'm
During that pause.
You were just like, oh, Karen's
what is she
checking herself
looking at?
It was small, though.
What everyone does in the mirror.
I do not.
She's like, who's going to be in the apartment? Possibly. No.
So I did not think what happened in this episode was going to go the way that it did, because when Vivian came back, they had that moment where Karen said, I really missed you, and Vivian was like, I missed you more, I really missed you too, and I was like, ooh, somebody's about to get left out of this equation. It's going to be Alec. Yeah, no, I was wrong.
Well, that just goes back to the whole thing that Karen and Vivian definitely have more of an emotional connection, and her and Alec have more of a physical one. He just gets to have all the physical relationships,
Yeah.
and then let the women have the emotional ones. I don't know. It's just like, it's just not going to ever work out.
And
I feel like I can't say anything until predictions. Damn it.
You can't talk at all of this thing.
I know. I'm like, right now, I'm like, all I want to do is say what I think is going to happen. So I can't do it.
Well, I think Alec is just scared. When he said that he was scared, I think he's just scared because of how strong of his feelings are for Karen.
Yeah. And whenever they're all back at their house, like the first morning that Vivian is back or whatever, and they're talking, and he, you know, she's like, oh, what'd y'all do? And he's like, we went to lunch and we worked and whatever. And then they talk right outside of this big glass window. And it's so like tension filled.
Right.
I mean, it was, she's of course gonna find out.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that, you know, we see her go to Karen first. She shows up at Karen's apartment. And I think she did that because she knew Karen's gonna automatically tell her the truth.
Yeah.
And I'm glad she did. I'm glad she wasn't like, oh, I don't know if we had sex or not.
Well, for a second,
I might have been asleep. I'm not sure.
I'm like, is she gonna
I don't remember.
because she didn't seem like she knew what she was going to really say at first.
Right.
And
Karen always knows exactly what to say.
that's true. She's
Yes.
very calculated in that way. But
Or genius. Or calculating genius. I don't know. Yeah, it's true. You're right.
I like that.
She's
calculating
not
genius.
cluster B cereal.
She is not. Yes, no, you are correct.
But when Vivian asks her, the look on her face is just, you can tell that it's like, okay, do I tell her, or she's wondering how Vivian is going to react. And
Right.
how Vivian reacted, I didn't expect.
I was hoping that they were gonna make out. Like that's what I was thinking that's what was like she was gonna. I was thinking. I wasn't hoping. I mean,
Oh, then this makes this okay.
I thought Karen was gonna like walk up to her and like embrace her, and then they were gonna have some like fiery thing together. No.
Yeah, I actually thought it might go that way, where she like, well, here's my turn to just be with you.
Yeah.
But instead, she realizes that she's really hurt.
Yeah. I wasn't surprised that Vivian was more upset, not by them doing it, but to just
Withholding
them
information.
not telling her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised by that.
Because that's where we were all the most shocked last week too, was when we're like, oh, why did you just lie? Like by lying, you immediately
Make it a thing. Yeah.
And that's exactly what she's upset about, of course.
Yeah, and so they get into that argument in the kitchen. I feel like they always argue in the kitchen at Alec and Vivian's
I think
house.
that's probably the only part of the set
That's the part that they built. Yeah.
And the bedroom.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the bedroom.
No need a living room. Nope. Just like kitchen, bedroom. That's it.
That's all you need. All you need.
Yeah.
And Alex said, it's just this whole situation. And right at that moment when he said, it's just this whole situation, I knew that it was going to be done.
Right.
And of course, someone's going to get hurt, and Karen's standing there and just so awkward. But I did, while they were arguing, I don't know if you guys noticed, Vivian did like kind of, what's the word, stand up for Karen. She said,
Vivian doesn't want this to be over.
Yeah. She sees the
She's into
value
it.
of
Yeah.
the relationship.
I think she really, like we're saying, I think she really likes Karen a lot, but of course she has emotional ties to her husband and still loves her husband. It's just,
Who she calls Allie, which I really didn't like.
Yeah. Well, how would they go back to, after having this relationship with Karen, and how would they go back to just being the two of them? Like, I feel like that would be a really difficult transition.
Well, I'm with Alec. I'm like, okay, it's one of those things that is interesting and can spice a relationship up and whatever, but ultimately it's always gonna end, and it's gonna end really bad for someone. So it's
It's usually the person that's not married.
Exactly.
In the marriage.
So it's like, why don't, he said it in the episode, he's like, what are you two talking about right now? Like, you're trying to think of how we're going to move forward. He was like, I just slept with another woman while you were out of town, and there's not more than like a little yelling going
And you're more
on.
concerned that I didn't tell you, not that I actually did it.
Right.
Which is a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's when she said, "Yeah, but that's already been happening." It's
Right,
like
yeah.
that's a fact. You have to have full honesty when you're in that type of a relationship. I mean, that's the thing, and that's just an aspect of the fact that none of them have been in a relationship like that. They just don't know. They don't know how it works. So it's a very honest, I think, depiction of what could happen when a relationship like this comes together. Just because you just don't know how to behave when you've been doing something a certain way for so long, and then suddenly you have to take into account a whole other person's feelings and how that, I don't know, how it all comes together.
Definitely.
it's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Until you figure it out. Until you're like, and we all can communicate. I mean, communication with any relationship, let alone, with 2 people, and then you add a third? Holy
gosh.
hell. Yeah.
Right. Makes it that much more difficult.
No, right.
Well, I originally I did think that Vivian was upset more so about the act of it whenever she was at Karen's apartment, because she's like, ooh, I didn't think I would be upset, but now I'm realizing that I am. And, and then we see Alex upset because Vivian didn't go to him first, which I kind of agree with him on that point too, because even though, she said she went to Karen first because she knew Alec would be immediately defensive, and that's why, she wanted just like an open, level-headed conversation before they got to that point. But also, that is your husband. Yeah. And so he really should be the first person you ask.
Yeah, I loved when he said to Karen, he was like, yes, I'm attracted to you and I care about you, and then he like looks at Vivian and it's like, but I chose you to spend my whole life with.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah.
You my wifey, girl.
You my wifey. We in this together.
Right.
Word. Should we get into predictions?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Alison, I feel like you should go first.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like you've been busted at the seams over here.
Okay, I will. So I totally think that they're just doing what they do on Mistresses, like how they're doing all the stuff with Harry and Joss, like how that's just going to be its own little roller coaster for us until they're finally back together. I feel like they're kind of setting us up right now with the whole Viv, Karen, Alex situation. I think it's just going to be this like cat and mouse game with all of them. So either Alex going to show up, or they're going to like have sex again in the freaking closet, and then Viv's going to show up and have sex with Karen at her apartment, and then they're all going to have... I just think it's going to be like a whole sex fiesta for a while.
Will Viv and Alec ever have sex together? Just the 2 of them?
I feel like they will not ever show us that.
I don't think so.
I really just want Karen to find a person one person for
then it's not Mistresses.
to love her. Yeah, I know. But
Then
still,
we're on to, like,
she's been through so much.
spin-off.
though.
The
Right,
spin-off.
the spin-off.
Mrs.
Just the misses. Yeah. And I feel like we may get something next week with Mark. Like, I think they're going to start teasing us more for the Mark and April setup, because I think that they're doing it right now. But I think it's going to...
They're definitely setting it up right now. I'm curious to see if this beer situation was a one-time thing, or if this is going to send him down some sort of spiral.
I hope that they don't do that.
I mean, he does work at a bar.
Hope.
And I mean, he's resisted it this long working at a bar. Like, I don't know.
I really hope they don't do that to him.
I know, I do too. I think that they probably will do that to him, unfortunately.
I think so too.
But I think that's going to be, maybe it could be used as a thing that does bring them back together, even though I really don't want April to have to save
fix him.
a guy.
Right, exactly.
I see loads of trouble in paradise for April and Blair, because I think Lucy's for sure going to tell her mom. That doesn't happen, and you not say something. Or maybe she will tell Mark. I think she's going to put it out there, though, and maybe April will be like, what? I'm sure he didn't mean it that way, whatever, and that might cause a little friction. But I don't think it was Kalista, so I have officially landed on that point. I don't think it was Kalista. I do think that she was probably involved somehow, because the whole my image thing, I just don't buy it.
And that was so calculated, though. Like, her whole plan of how to deal with this was already, like, put into place.
Exactly. So I think she has some involvement. I don't think she necessarily pulled the trigger, though, because she probably was at the whatever hotel getting drunk.
Because she knew what was going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like ABC is going to do something, like, wild, and, like, it's going to be some random person from... Luca's
bring
past,
someone in,
some like just person where we were like, huh?
It was Ever.
So
It was Ever, or Eva, the model.
with Viv and Karen and Alec, we have to remember when Ed Quinn was in, he said, like, it's going to get crazy. You don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm
But
still...
wasn't that before the closet scene, though?
Yeah, but I kind of knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Didn't we all? I still think death for Vivian.
Jeez. Sterling,
Cold
what do you
one,
think?
right?
You know, actually, I think Dustin said that too. Someone said that.
I said that, like, when
talking
he was
about-
here, and I was like, okay, I feel really, like, morbid for saying that, so I'm gonna stop.
Okay, I'll look while you.
What do you think, Fran?
Well, right. Thank you, April.
Oh yeah,
for finishing my name.
Viv gonna die. That's what Dustin said. Viv gonna die.
Hashtag. Oh God, too much, too soon.
They won't go back to normal, Sterling. They've gone down. That's what
Thanks, Hudson.
I thought I'd animate it too for everyone out there.
That way.
I feel like the only thing that I really have a thought on is that I think April and Mark are gonna both save each other. It's not gonna be April just saving him. I think.
How is he gonna save April?
Well, I don't think
From her relationship?
Yeah, I don't think that Lucy is necessarily gonna say anything because, like I said, how scary is that this guy says something and you feel uncomfortable, but you don't want to make anything else more uncomfortable, so you're like, maybe I just won't say anything, it won't happen again, whatever.
Right.
And I feel like they're gonna get serious, and then there's gonna be more serious Blair stuff, and then maybe Mark's gonna come home one day drunk, maybe, I don't know, and like beat the crap out of Blair. So they're gonna like save each other, and then she's gonna be like, are you drinking? And let's get you back into rehab, and it's gonna be like a mutual,
it's gonna be a
beneficial thing.
Yeah.
I wonder, now that you say that, whenever Blair told Lucy like not to reach across the table for the syrup, he kind of like, I mean, I don't want to like just go ahead and throw physical abuse in there, but he wasn't just like, don't do that, like asked for the syrup to be passed to you. He was like, you know, don't do that.
Heck
and
yeah.
just seemed super,
Don't do that.
like, you know, he cracked the
He's super
whip real
controlling,
quick.
and people with those types of, personalities can be kind of scary.
Right. Oof. So we'll see.
Who said that Daniel was coming back this season? Someone said that.
Probably you thinking that you wish
I
you
feel like
did.
someone said it to me though. Like that. Okay, whatever. So one of you guys said it to me. I swear I was not hallucinating. I did not have any laughing
You're
gas or anything.
dreaming about it.
Maybe, but no. I feel like
That one episode, I did not have any laughing gas. And
I know.
What do you think, Sterling?
I mean, I feel like I commented on most of those.
Yeah.
I don't have any other ones
like
other than that.
Okay.
Drop the
pen.
mic. Or
Yeah.
pen,
Oh, Daniel can't kick Blair's ass. It's true, Kelly. I agree. Like, fucking Daniel. Get Daniel back in there.
Allison will be Team Daniel
For the rest of my life.
Till after Mistresses is long
Yes.
over.
True.
Any last
Season 87.
Any last prediction, guys?
Oh,
Any in the comments? I think that's it.
Oh no! I mean, everyone's like, yeah, bring Daniel back. Bring back Daniel.
Well, you heard it here first. Bring Daniel back.
Bring Daniel back.
All right, guys. Where can we
Plus
find?
Daniel can click.
What? What are you saying?
Plus Daniel can click Blair's
Kick.
Not
Blair's
click. For the way he treats April and Lucy.
April.
April can't even say her own name.
All right, we need to get out of here.
All right. Where can we find you guys on social media?
April Whisenhant. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at April Whisenhant.
You can find me everywhere at the Alison Dean. Yay!
And you can find me at Sterling Cates.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, XOXOCESCA. Thank you guys for hanging out with us and dealing with our laughter.
Yes.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz. See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.